And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to help you win. We're here to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Pull out your smartphone, save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372. Don't forget our number. Bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of resources available for you on our newly redesigned website, consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors. Just click on the show contributors tab. You can submit an email directly there as well and see all of our expert contributors. 80 plus show partners now on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and folks that we bring on the air, we interview as a consumer advocate approach to help you understand more about your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to be your super connector and put you in touch with all of our expert contributors. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. Mario Larrea, he's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, Brandon. I'm going to be going over some of the most common questions I get from people calling in or when they come in, just kind of go through those and answer some of those questions right up front, because there's a lot of questions that pretty much everybody asks me as soon as I talk to them.
I like that. Frequently asked questions, common myths out there, misnomers with Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist here at Home First Lending. And also in the house, William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician, back in the house.
Well, you get me excited.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to be talking about the laws of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Uniform Commercial Code, and really how we can help the consumer to overcome a lot of the objections on the credit report. And then I'm going to get on the consumers at the same time for not being proactive.
That's right. You got to be proactive. You got to understand more about their credit. Taking care of your credit. There's identity theft is rampant out there. Let's talk about identity theft, things that they can do, measures that you can take to help your own self out. Help you from getting trapped into this credit improvement, credit issues that you might see. And identity theft is out there, so we'll talk more about that, and maybe even offer the credit package as well. We may offer that as well during the show. Also back in studio, Joe Cairns, managing partner, Cairns Law Firm. He's a family law attorney here in Tampa Bay. Welcome back in, sir.
Thank you, Brandon. I'm going to be talking about the things that drive me nuts on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And which will kind of slide into some tips so that you don't get yourself in trouble when you're in a courtroom.
I like that.
Come on, man.
The things that make you crazy a little bit there.
Come on, man.
So I imagine you see a lot of that, Joe, and my hat's off to you for dealing with the family law, lots of things happening, the squabbling partners, and a lot of things at stake, when it comes to that point. So we'll jump more into the family law decisions that you want to look at, things that you want to take into account when you are considering potential divorce, because a lot of times it leads to bankruptcy, it leads to other things. So you want to make sure you're calculated when you are seeing that particular strategy playing out, or that line of issues happening. It's a common theme that you're going to see there. All right, we're going to shout out to Hula Bay, our restaurant partner on South Tampa restaurant partner. Hula Bay, waterfront ambiance, excellent sushi. They ship in the tuna fresh from Hawaii every 2 days, and they've got a wide variety on the menu as well. If you don't like sushi, they've got other great taco dishes and different specials from time to time. Lots of great seafood on the menu. Fun place to visit. On the weekends they've got the live music as well down at Hula Bay, 5210 Tyson Avenue in South Tampa, right there off of West Shore. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you, and they're going to hook them up. William, you know what they're going to hook them up with every time they go to Hula Bay? Just by mentioning the quarterback show?
Water.
Oh, glass water.
That
Lemon,
water
right?
with lemon, baby. That water with lemon every time. So so we really appreciate our restaurant partner there, Hula Bay down in South Tampa. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's jump right into this great content. Actually, coming up as well, we got our top 10 most valuable college football teams, according to Forbes.com. And we also have our feel-good story of the week. A man who lost his wedding ring finds it at sea, or he lost his wedding ring in sea and finds it afterwards, washes up on a beach a year later. We'll talk about that story. Interesting story coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. Mario Larrea here in the house now. Mario is going to help you with any type of pre-qualification that you might need to buy real estate property, mostly residential properties. Do you do commercial as well, Mario?
I do a little bit commercial, but I mostly focus on residential.
Little commercial, and if you have needs for vacant land, there's things that we can talk about there as well with different portfolio. But primarily, the majority of the market is in residential. It's FHA, VA, different types of loan programs, down payment assistance programs. So let's go over some of these common questions that you get, Mario.
Well, one of the main ones I get is if somebody calls in, immediately they ask me, what's your rate? So, there's so many different variables with people. A lot of times I'll come back and tell people, it's hard for me to tell you what your rate's going to be in your particular situation. A lot of times I think they think that I'm trying to blow them off or, get a little deeper. But I mean, just like you mentioned, we have VA loans, USDA, FHA, conventional, 15-year terms, 20-year terms, 30-year terms. All of these are going to make a difference on what your interest rate is, what your credit score is going to, affect it, how much you're putting down. So there's a lot of things that go into, what the interest rate is. The one interest rate that I might have for one borrower might be different for another one because they're going for two separate, completely different, loan amounts, stuff like that. Now, to kind of combo or go off of that as well, another one that I'll get is, once I pre-approve somebody, go over costs, go over what their fees and rates and stuff like that are. A lot of times I get people that say, hey, I've seen rates advertised a lot lower than this. And that's very true. But if you look at it, a lot of times, they should have disclaimers on there. When mortgage companies advertise their rates, it's going to be the best possible case scenario. So you're looking at a 780 credit score, 50% down, 300 plus loan amount. So, if you're a 620 credit score, you're putting 3% down and it's $100,000 purchase price, it's going to be higher. So you got to look at everything that goes into it. Another big one I get, and we've talked about this several times, is a lot of times people think that they need 20% down, and it's not the case. I mean, you can get in with as little as 3% down. There's down payment assistance programs. You can negotiate for the seller to pay your closing costs. So, if you don't have 20%, doesn't matter. I mean, you can get into, a home with a lot less down, and in some cases, no money down.
Yeah. And also outside of those variables as well, back to the rate, is the property type. Sometimes if it's a condo, it's going to cost a little bit more than a single family that's detached.
Yep. And condos in general, they are priced a little bit higher. Florida we had a real high default on the Florida condos when the crash happened. So, lenders are a little leery of them. So they're a little bit more involved also with the financing. You got to get the association approved. So condos are going to present a little bit more of an issue than, a single family residence. I mean, they definitely can be done. It's still pretty easy, but it's not as easy as like a townhouse, villa, single family residence. So that's one that I see quite a bit. Another one that I get is people ask about private mortgage insurance or PMI or MI. This is something it doesn't technically help you, but in a way it does. What it's doing is it insures the loan from 80% and above. So if you're putting less than 20% down, you're going to have mortgage insurance. And we have some options where you can have lender paid mortgage insurance, so you're not paying it monthly. But if you're putting less than 20% down, you have to have it. Mm-hmm. Now, one good thing about FHA is the mortgage insurance that FHA carries is actually tax deductible, just like your interest rate. So if you do get an FHA loan, you're getting a portion of that money back, depending on how you file taxes. So also, I get another one a lot that William can probably help out with as well. I'll get people they call in and they're like, hey, well, we're not looking to purchase for 6 months, so we don't want to apply right now. Unless you know that your credit score is perfect, you have assets in the bank, you have great job history, you probably should be looking at it, because most people don't know what's on their credit report, number
That's
one. So, if you're looking in 6 months and you have some issues, we can work on those issues and get you a much better loan, or even get you in a loan where you couldn't have, because sometimes you don't know what's going on your credit. You don't know how it affects the mortgages.
That's right.
So, I can look at it. There could be some issues. Send it over to William. He can work on it, get them, all squared away. They'll end up with a much better loan than they would have to begin with.
Yep.
And, it saves you money across the board.
Yeah, I can't say more about that. Being proactive, finding out popping up nowadays. I can't tell you how many times we have that come up in a month. Mario as well with Platinum MVP Realty, we're working with buyers and sellers. It happens a lot, and you look at there's identity theft is rampant right now. It's happening to a lot of the major retailers, our federal government, and then to have some accounts on your credit that you didn't expect to have them there. Now you think you have a 700 plus score, but you're really below 6. So that's going to change your whole perspective. It's going to push everything out, and it's going to cause you to miss that property that you might be looking to buy. Mario Larrea here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, and also William Crowley, the credit magician. So let's maybe flip that one to William. William, when you see this, people are coming to you. They're in a potential. They say, hey, honey, I love this house. I was finding this house here, but now we got to take a step back and regroup and talk to the credit magician. That's right.
I love the Facebook thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's the most important thing is that the customer has to know prior to going in and transforming the mortgage broker into a credit repair person. That's why I want to get them ahead of time.
Yeah.
But be proactive. Look at that credit report ahead of time. There's all kind of free reports out there, even though you won't accept the free report, but it does give you a general idea. Not the score may not be accurate, but the content is accurate enough for them to start addressing those negative issues.
Right.
So if I tell people all the time, don't take that free credit report into the mortgage, to the lender, because they're going to pull their own. They're going to be a little bit different, but nevertheless, the content will be enough for you to start to address the negative issues and then be proactive and address it. We know the information belongs to you, but at the same time, there are laws in the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and even certain aspects of the Uniform Commercial Code, which tells you that you can legally address this information and have it removed legally off the credit report, because you're going after the credit reporting agencies for violation of due process. We know the information belongs to you, but don't let that deter you. You can still address the information and have it taken off, because the credit reporting agencies have not followed the Fair Credit Reporting Act properly.
Let's give away that credit package here, since we got our live stream here as well. And let's do for the first 5 listeners who text the word credit. We're not taught credit in school. There's no credit police. William Crowley, the credit magician, longtime friend of the program here, he has this credit package that he can offer for the first 5 listeners who text the word credit to our hotline, 813-670-7372. Text credit to 813-670-7372. And also, if you want to get pre-approved for mortgage as well, you can type that in there. But we would love to share with you this credit package. It's going to teach you how to opt out of pre-screening, cut off that junk mail, reduce your chances of identity theft, how to actually get a free credit report without having to put in your credit card and this back-end solicitation, and also an offer of a consultation with William Crowley, the credit magician. Text 813-670-7372, and we've got a couple spots left for that offer. So, hey, stay with us here. When we come back, we got some great content coming up as well. The top 10 most valuable college football teams coming up on the show, and we have an interesting story about a man who lost a wedding ring at sea. He finds it a year later as it washes up on a beach, and more from our expert contributors here. We've got Mario Larrea, mortgage specialist for Home First Lending, here in studio, William Crowley, the credit magician, in the house, and Joe Cairns, family law attorney here, and he's a partner at the Cairns Law Firm. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Giving a shout out as well to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. Stay with us on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, quarterback show. Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent. Former USF football player, played on the inaugural football team at the University of South Florida for the Bulls. Played defensive back as well as longtime quarterback on our sports teams growing up. And now we're quarterbacking transactions for our sellers, our buyers, our investors out there with Platinum MVP Realty. And we're also quarterbacking introductions to all of our expert contributors. We've got 80-plus show partners now with our show, and we all want to help you win as a consumer advocate, help you think a layer deeper, make you more street smart, and kind of give you that helicopter view of the market and things happening out there. And we don't care if you're climbing that corporate ladder, if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work, we're going to help you win. And in studio with me today, we got Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending, William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician, and Joe Cairns, family law attorney here in Tampa Bay. Giving a shout out to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach, our hotel partner. And if you give them a call, you'll get a 10 to 20% discount off of your local staycation just by mentioning the REQB code at the Hotel Zamora. The Castile restaurant on site. You've got the rooftop lounge, the 360 lounge as well. And it's a whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites with balconies overlooking the intercoastal waterway. Rooftop yoga on the weekends. And if you're a boater like me, bring your boat up and hang out at the pool and the hot tub area. It's a great place to relax, even if it's just a short staycation for a couple nights. Give Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on St. Pete Beach, a call. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you and take them up on that 20% discount for your room stay at Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach in beautiful St. Petersburg. All right, we're back here in studio. I want to go back to Mario. I want to finish up a little bit more of this mortgage talk, refinances, talk about purchasing real estate properties. Tampa Bay market is hot. It's so hot right now. There's so many, buyers out there looking for inventory. Still an inventory shortage on the real estate side. And, from time to time, we talk about down payment assistance programs. We talk about, the fact that you can get into a property with as little as, 3% down in many cases?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. You can go as little as 3% down. And, again, there are some like the Florida bond program, stuff like that they'll give you up to like $15,000. Now, they're a little bit more restrictive on the guidelines than actually the mortgage guidelines are. So, you have to qualify for that as well. But if you legitimately don't have the money to put down, normally you're going to qualify for it. So, it's a great way to get into to a home right now while rates are still really low. And not have to spend a ton of money. So
yeah, that's great. I'd love to talk to our listeners about that. We had some great calls last week, some emails coming in, people reaching out about credit. They wanted to talk to William about credit, talk about getting pre-approved for loan programs right now. So the down payment assistance programs, they're going to be more tied to a municipality. Is that right? Or some state run? Yeah,
there's some that are local, and then there's some that are actually state run. So like the Florida bond, that's statewide. Now, City of Tampa has some, the Pinellas has them, Pasco County has them as well. So there's different ways to get into it. A lot of times the local ones will start running out of funds, but the bond program typically you're going to have access to the money year round. So
yeah, so we want to get you into home ownership. So if you're a renter out there, maybe on the fence of you've been renting for a while, thinking about getting into home ownership, it's a great time to do that right now. You take a look at being able to take advantage of tax advantages and putting off your taxes and writing off depreciation. You're going to be able to build up equity. You know, the difference in appreciation between what you pay down on the mortgage, that's wealth to you. That's money that you can access at some point when you sell the property or maybe refinance, pull out some money, cash out refis. So if you're a renter out there on the fence thinking about buying, but you're just not quite sure if you have the credit or if you maybe have the down payment that you need, let's at least get that plan in place. If you have, that type of mentality where you say, hey, you know what, I have a goal in mind. I may not be able to reach it today, tomorrow, maybe next week, but I know that if I set a goal, I'm going to be able to work towards that goal, and I'll be able to gain home ownership at some point and leave a better legacy for my family than, maybe in the past. So reach out to our hotline, 813-670-7372. You can call or text that line. Text the word rent as well. If you're renting right now, text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying to our hotline, and we'll put together a comparable market analysis for you, 813-670-7372. And you can also have the option of an email through consumerqb.com. Just submit the form there, because right now, Mario, people are paying so much more money in rent than they are able to buy for.
Yeah, it's like 30% higher to the cost to rent right now than it is to actually purchase. And, with the lack of inventory, if you're thinking about buying, you need to have that pre-approval letter in hand, because people are, the sellers are getting multiple offers. And if you go make an offer without a pre-approval letter, they're moving right past it.
That's
so,
right.
If you're looking in 6 months, you're, like I was saying, back to what I was saying before, find out what you need to do, make a game plan. Because if you have a goal, you need to know how to get there, or else you're not going to get there.
Right.
So, and once it's 6 months from now you have a pre-approval letter, you find the house that you want, you can make an offer immediately.
That's right. All right, let's go back to William now here. So that's Mario Larrea, Home First Lending. Let's back to William here, the credit magician. So the credit magician, you're coming in here each week. You're talking about how these bureaus are so bad. The credit industry,
even worse.
A lot of times the consumers aren't doing their job, but it really is. William, we look at this bureau industry. It's a $5 billion industry a year, man,
and growing. And the biggest reason why they're so big is because consumers aren't being as proactive as they should be.
Right.
We could really cut their cost in half, or either eliminate the credit reporting agencies altogether if we would just do our part.
Mm-hmm.
Fair Credit Reporting Act was created in 1970. Okay, in 1976, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Uniform Commercial Code has been around forever. And I know that we had talked off the air and just talking about being commercial, but there's certain aspects of Uniform Commercial Code. The negotiable instruments section in specific will show people how to deal with debt. Okay, and that's one of our biggest problems. I know Joe's going to be talking about divorce, whatever family law.
Right.
That's one of the reasons a lot of people come to me as well, because they go through a divorce. The credit becomes bad because of the divorce. But the laws out there that can prevent a lot of people from having going and paying this unnecessary debt. And the negotiable instruments section of Uniform Commercial Code specifically goes into that, where people can understand. Look here. Yes, you have collection accounts on your credit report, but it doesn't mean you have to pay them.
Yeah.
I tell my clients, don't ignore them, but don't pay them either. Address them with the validation of debt. That's an aspect of the credit restoration services that we provide as it compares to traditional credit repair. And then you spoke about identity theft, okay? The biggest perpetrator of identity theft is the credit reporting agencies themselves, okay? It's not so much these criminals out here that's getting your information and going out and misusing it, but the credit reporting agency is the one that's giving them the information anyway. And they're not supposed to just arbitrarily give this information out. But what the consumer has to understand is that if you put a promotional block on your credit report, you can take your name off the list with the credit reporting agencies and stop them from just marketing your information.
Right.
Because they don't discriminate. Anybody with the right dollar amount is going to get your information, and they're going to misuse it. A lot of people are going to misuse it. So the biggest perpetrator of identity theft is the credit reporting agencies themselves. You spoke about my package. That information is going to be in the package as well, on how to deal with those issues.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's so much stuff in this industry, information in this industry as it pertains to the credit industry.
Yep.
if we just understand the Fair Credit Reporting Act, we can stop these people.
That's right. More from William Crowley when we come back, as well as Joe Cairns. We're going to bring in Joe Cairns into the conversation, family law attorney, talk about some of the common things that he sees on a daily basis as well. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to help you win in any marketplace. Coming up, top 10 most valuable college football teams, as well as a man who lost wedding ring at sea finds it a year later as it washes up on a beach. More from our expert contributors, Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is
listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty. Check out PlatinumMVPRealty.net. We've got some great videos there. If you're thinking about selling real estate, we would love to talk to you. There's a severe lack of inventory in the marketplace right now. So if you are a homeowner, you own any type of real estate properties, commercial properties, vacant land, we would love to talk to you. There's a lack of inventory right now, and we would love for you to check out PlatinumMVPRealty.net. And we're back here in studio hoping you win in any marketplace. Mario Larrea is in the house, Home First Lending. He's a mortgage expert here in Tampa Bay. William Crowley, the credit magician, in the house, as well as attorney Joe Cairns. He's a managing partner of Cairns Law. And we're giving a shout out to Signature Massage and Facial Spa in Tampa. Are you looking for a place to get a massage or a facial at an affordable price, but without having to sign up for a membership? Look no further. At Signature Massage and Facial Spa, they have a 1-hour Swedish massage for $49.95. Always no contracts. Come in during the early bird hours and you will receive an additional $10 off, and you'll receive a professional massage at a great price. For those muscles and knots that need extra work, ask about getting a deep tissue or sports massage. And if skincare is what you're looking for, they have amazing facial and microderm packages. Check out Signature Massage and Facial Spa at 11248 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa, or give them a call directly at 925-8898, 813-925-8898. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Get $10 off of your first service with Signature Massage and Facial Spa. All right, back in studio here. Coming up as well, we got the top 10 most valuable college football teams according to Forbes.com, and we got a great feel-good story of the week as well. I want to go to attorney Joe Cairns now, and Cairns Family Law. He's a divorce attorney, family law attorney, and longtime friend of the program here. Now, what are you seeing out there, Joe?
Well, William was talking about unnecessary debt. So when people come up to me, they're maybe have a financial situation, maybe is even causing the divorce or the problems with your significant other. And then I'm like, and now we're going to make it worse.
Yeah.
So one of the things that really aggravates me is that people always come to me with the concept of winning. They think that the family law spectrum, whether it be a divorce or a custody battle, that it's somehow scored like a boxing match. That we're going to have a split decision. They're going to say, well, ma'am, you scored 105 points to your husband's 103. So you get the house. You're going to have the kid the majority of the time. Sorry, sir, but at least you didn't get knocked out. It's really scored more like golf.
Yeah.
It's the lowest score. It's the person who really tried the damage the other person the most. Because judges all the time will tell us, listen, you guys are going to spar with each other. You're going to sling mud, and then I'm going to ask you guys to go co-parent and hope that kid doesn't get caught in the fray, so to speak. So this concept that they come to us with winning is, listen, your stuff is going to get, whether it's marital or non-marital, the marital stuff is going to be cut in half.
Yeah.
The time sharing is to be based on the best interest of the child. So if you're warring with your wife or your husband, maybe the judge is going to think, putting the kid over there is probably not the best idea because they're just going to want to talk about this all day.
Yep.
And then, like the situation that I had this morning, I can tell when my client is literally vibrating next to me. So the other side, she'll be saying something that he obviously disagrees with.
Yeah.
And sometimes this is the absolute worst. They put their hand up in the air.
Right. Right.
And the judge who's looking at this says, sir, talk to your attorney before you raise your hand. And usually what they want to say is in direct contradiction of what was just said.
Exactly.
And it's going to get them nowhere.
Yeah.
And it might even actually make things worse because this new wrinkle that was thrown out there, maybe it has very little relevance, but your answer to it is going to make it highly relevant.
Yeah.
So my advice, stop talking. Make sure there's some sort of game plan before you go in there.
Yeah.
Because you're absolutely going to be aggravated. And it's very difficult to just simply talk to the judge when the other person's making faces, because that happened today too.
Yeah.
I could see her making the same faces too.
Wow.
So this isn't a situation where if you do get the result that you're looking for, that you're going to go out in the hallway and spike the football.
Yeah.
Because guess what's going to happen the next time we're in court? Well, Your Honor, when we got in the hallway after the last hearing, when we just saw you, he basically took his laptop, threw it on the ground, did a dance. That's going to come up, and that's going to look as not so much that it's unprofessional, but you're supposed to be an adult.
Yeah.
And there's maybe a kid involved here.
That's right.
And you just want to score points against the other side.
Yeah. You try to withhold all emotion, right?
You can't withhold all of it. I mean, you got to be, you're still human.
Right.
But it's really that. You understand that you're an adult in that room and that you're being asked to put forth that you have the requisite abilities to be an adult in that room.
Right.
In the words of was it Lewis Black? I wanted to, but I didn't have the ability.
Yeah.
So that sometimes can be the problem.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson always says, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Everything looks so great in rehearsal.
Yeah.
They roll in there, someone says something, and I got a hand raised next to me. I'm like, you need to put your hand down.
Yeah.
Please put your hand down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's really, keeping your emotions under check
Yeah.
is really, you don't go in there as a robot. It'll probably actually do the opposite for you.
Mm-hmm.
But making sure that you present yourself as a responsible adult and that you have your kids' needs in the back of your mind.
Yep.
And not, I want to destroy her or him, is really the way that you need to move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more amicable you can be, the more friendly, that you're going to have that, you're going to be more of a looking for what Covey called a win-win. Right,
Yeah.
seeking for a win-win solution.
Yeah, and in family law, we're a little less positive. We're more of a lose-lose situation. If both, we always say, if both are equally aggravated, then that sounds like it's a pretty good solution.
Pretty fair deal.
Like a good negotiation.
And
Yeah, right.
there's literally been situations where my client was pretty okay with a series of different results, but the other side, what they were okay with was completely unreasonable. What you end up with is, hey, listen, they're going to agree to this, but I need you to be really upset when we're leaving.
Yeah.
Because if they think that you're not upset, they'll be like, this is a bad deal.
Yeah.
This is a bad deal.
It's tough, man, when you look at that. And by the way, if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes here. We've got Joe Cairns in studio. He's a family law attorney here in Tampa Bay. We're talking about these issues that happen in family law courts and the divorce, going through the big D, whatever you want to call it when it comes to that. Let's talk of this concept of social media, how it's changed the space that you live, work, and play in. A lot of times, social media. I mean, you're on social media. You're going in to see a judge. This is going to come into play in a lot of your different cases.
I will tell you exactly. I can't tell you who the clients are in the actual story.
Come on, tell us.
Yeah. Hey, Florida bar. So I walked into the courtroom, and there was an allegation that my guy had done X, Y, and Z over a course of time. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that I put on the table was a series of Facebook messages that wasn't even like I got a friend of a friend to find this for me.
Yeah.
I was able to see it.
Right.
And it directly contradicted everything we were talking about in that courtroom.
Wow.
And the judge was like, well, when's the last time you even talked to him? Oh, it was a couple months ago. Well, then why do we need all of this? So social media I use all the time. It's the first thing I look at. If someone calls me and sets up a consultation, I immediately plug their name in there and see what kind of nonsense they're making completely public.
Yeah.
And sometimes when they come in, they sit down and go, Joe, what do you think I should do? I think you should go on your Facebook page and just tear it down.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Just turn it off. Don't speak to anyone because apparently and they'll give me I have a right to free speech. Yes, you absolutely do. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to take that right and they're just going to slap you with it.
They are.
Alrighty.
They're going to be. You look at social media, and even if you erase stuff, they could have screenshotted it already.
I once sent a request for production because I kept getting hit with all of these social media things that my client was putting out there. So I asked for all of the social media stuff that was in her possession. I had 2,000 pages sent to my office.
Wow.
And it was all done through the daughter's thing because the wife was blocked.
Wow.
So anyone can find it. So if you have this 450 friends on Facebook, the 450th person is like, sure, I'll give you this stuff. And then they start printing it out. And it's just volumes and volumes. And if you think that you're a wise guy or something like that, believe me, something's going to be taken completely out of context.
Yeah, I could see that happening, man. Facebook has just changed the space. I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. I love marketing, and I was listening to one of his recent. It's a summary of his book, Jab, Jab, Right Hook. Remember, the great social media expert. But he said something like 20% of all internet traffic is Facebook, and that's not in the United States. That's That's international.
And my favorite is I'll sit there. I'll be having a drink with my wife at some restaurant or something. And these people have an argument, and they immediately go to their phone, and I go, here it comes. I said, someone's making a huge mistake right now.
Yeah.
Drinking and Facebooking it can almost be as devastating as drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Because you can lose your kids over it if you do the wrong thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Joe Cairns here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace, talking about divorce and a lot of times it leads to bankruptcy. We've got a bankruptcy attorney here associated with the show. Sean Yesner does
Never
a great
heard
job of that. And so it's an all-encompassing situation. It can sometimes lead to some bad roads. So we want to make sure you're thinking a layer deeper. Be a little bit conservative on your social media when you're looking at that, and make sure you reach out to Joe Cairns Family Law. Also offer consultations over there, Joe.
Yes, free consultations, absolutely.
Excellent. Yep. All right. So when we come back, we're going to jump into our top 10. We got the top 10 most valuable college football teams. We got a man who lost his wedding ring, finds it at sea after it washes up on a beach a year later. So that's going to be an interesting story as well. And we're giving a shout out to Felicia Lacaille with Healthy Gourmet. Meal plan starting at $90 a week. 10 meals for $90. Optimal fuel, optimal performance, Healthy Gourmet, organic veggies, natural proteins, delivered fresh 3 times a week. Longtime friend of the program, Felicia Lacaille. She is the CEO and founder. I love it. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, roll around. I got a new order of food, and it's great, healthy, organic foods. What else do you have in this world if you don't have your health and take care of yourself? Reach out to Healthy Gourmet. Again, listed on our website at consumerqb.com. All of our experts, contributors are listed at consumerqb.com. You can find their contact information, contact them directly there, and also you can reach out to our hotline. Stay with us, don't touch that dial. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty. Got a hot listing here I want to let you know about out in Northeast St. Petersburg. We got 215 12th Avenue Northeast St. Pete, $1.29 million pre-construction home. It's an opportunity to design your own style here. It's a property that's under construction in one of the hottest areas, one of the hottest neighborhoods in Tampa Bay. It's 215 12th Avenue Northeast in St. Petersburg, and it's going to be over 3,688 square feet. Great buying opportunity here. PlatinumMVPRealty.net. Check out PlatinumMVPRealty.net. And in studio today, we got Mario Larrea, Home First Lending, William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician, in the house, and attorney Joe Cairns as well, family law attorney here in Tampa Bay. You guys ready to jump into our top 10? We got the top 10 here.
No.
Most valuable college football teams. All right. Mario Larrea, you're up first.
Florida State.
Florida State. Let's see if Florida State. I'm surprised at the front page here. No, I don't think so. Let's see. Let me just double check. No, Florida State. Top 10 most valuable college football teams. Florida State is not on the list. William Crowley's up. Alabama is going to be number 6 on the list. University of Alabama. Current value is $93 million. And, it's up 1% from the previous year. All right, this is according to Forbes.com, by the way. So, Joe Cairns.
I'm going with the University of Southern California.
University of Southern Cal. Let's see. Southern Cal is not on the list either. Yeah, Southern Cal.
That's what losing will do again.
No, USC. All right, Mario, back to you.
Wow. Ohio State.
Ohio State. Talk about Ohio State here. I would have thought that one would be on this list. Ohio State is not on the list.
Just leave the studio.
Yeah. All right, I'm done.
William, back to you.
Notre Dame?
Notre Dame is on the list. Yes, number 2 on the list, $112 million. Notre Dame, Fighting Irish.
It's actually my team. I'm going to go with Michigan.
Michigan Wolverines is number 5 on the list. Absolutely. $94 million value. You said they're playing the Gators coming up soon, too, right, Mario? Did you say that? Or somebody's talking about that earlier today.
Mario can't get anything right. So
yeah, I'm
All right. Just refer to me and Joe.
Okay. You got it. The Credit Magician.
Tulane.
All right, so to what?
Tulane.
Tulane, yeah.
Tulane.
Tulane is not on the list.
No.
Top 10 most valuable college football teams here, according to Forbes.com. Back to Mario.
Oh, man, I don't want to get the third one wrong. I thought I was out.
Are you out?
Tapped out.
A lot of teams in the South.
Okay. Oh, that's easy then.
University of Georgia.
Georgia is on the list. The Bulldogs, number 7, $90 million value.
Got one.
What about Miami?
Nope. Miami Hurricanes not on the list. I thought they would be on here too. That's a good one.
Just so people don't call in and complain, University of Florida.
University of Florida is not on the list either. Yeah. No UF. No UF.
Oh, there you go, Gators.
All right, so I'm going to give you the countdown. So you got the top 10 is University of Oklahoma, $87 million value. Number 9 is Auburn Tigers. Number 8 is Arkansas. Number 7, Georgia. Number 6, Alabama. Michigan's coming in at number 5. Louisiana State Tigers, LSU, at $96 million. At number 4, Pennsylvania State. The Nittany Lions, $100 million, and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, number 2.
Who's
and number
one
one on the list, Texas Longhorns,
Longhorns.
$129 million value.
Well, I guess when you call your stadium the Swamp, the value goes down.
Yeah, right.
No, we got their coach now, right? Is that
we got USF has Coach Charlie Strong.
Yeah.
Yep, and USF's coming in preseason rankings, the highest it's ever been ranked. I believe it's either 19 or 17.
They're predicted to win every single game.
They are. They're predicted to go 12-0. You got a Heisman hopeful at quarterback, Quentin Flowers. Yeah, Heisman hopeful, and should be a good one. We'll see what happens here. All right, so we got our feel-good story of the week here. Tell you something good.
Tell me something good.
All right, a man who lost his wedding ring at sea finds it a year later after it washes up on a beach. And this is another testimonial to Facebook. I mean, the story centered around Facebook. So when a New Jersey man thought he'd lost his wedding ring forever, he was shocked when he found it returned to him almost a year later to the day after he lost it. Mickey Walsh was on vacation in Ocean City, New Jersey when he lost his wedding ring in the ocean waves. He thought the ring was gone until this year his wife spotted what looked like his ring on a Facebook post. My son found this men's wedding band today, 8/17/17, and the post read, according to CBS Philly, between the 7th and the 8th Street Beach in Ocean City, New Jersey, and inscription inside or outside, no inscription, and please help us find the owner. So each share helps. Thank you. So the ring had been discovered by Daniel Barr, an 11-year-old Ocean City resident who was visiting the beach, and his mother, and she found it here, and then after coming up short, the pair decided to post to Facebook. And I was at work, and my wife texted me, "Hey, I think someone found your ring." And the Walshes quickly sent over all the details they could remember about the ring, plus a couple of old photos. Mrs. Barr compared the details with an assessment she obtained from a local jeweler, and she sent me the photos, and sure enough, they're a match, Mr. Barr said, and even the correct size and all. So great story there. Feel-good story. He lost his wedding ring. Ever happened?
Actually, I was just talking about that on the break. I'm on my 4th wedding ring right now. So I boat a lot, and the first time my wife was really upset, but after the 3rd time, she's kind of gotten used to it. So now I just stopped wearing my ring on the boat because it just seems to fall off in the water. So hopefully one will wash up.
That's funny. That's
I
funny.
thought you were talking about 4th time being married.
No. No, I've only been married once. 4 rings, though. I have a backup at home now, too.
Yeah, back up at home.
Yeah.
Bad for business. I actually was washing my hands at a restaurant, and it went into the trash can, and then I dumpster diving into the trash bin. But luckily, the thing sits to the bottom, so I was able to get to the bottom of the bag, just rip it out.
There you go.
So,
With all the gross stuff probably down there, too. The
I
liquids.
rewashed my hands.
All right, let's jump into. You ready to jump into our lightning round?
The lightning round.
All right, let's do it.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning round.
All right, top tips, things to do, nuggets of advice. Mario Larrea.
Again, don't wait to apply for a mortgage. If you're thinking about doing something within the next 6 months to a year, look at your situation now. I mean, rates are low. A lot of times people will qualify when they don't think that they can, or if they can't, we can make you a game plan. Get with William Crowley here, and we can work on the credit, work on the down payment, just get you where you need to be in order to purchase.
Excellent. Love that. Be proactive when it comes to your mortgage financing. William Crowley, the credit magician.
Proactive. Pay your bills on time, baby. Pay your bills on time. But if you don't, then I'm here to bail you out. Okay, legally bail you out, because I'm not encouraging people not to pay their bills, not to be irresponsible. We encourage all that. Be responsible. Pay your bills on time. But if you do run into a hiccup, we're here to legally address those issues and have a lot of this information turned around where you're going to be ready for Mario and maybe even ready for Joe.
Here's my advice to the general population. Come up with some sort of goofy nickname for yourself. Otherwise, you'll have to come after the credit magician, and you'll just be Joe Cairns.
Yes.
So get yourself some sort of handle or name.
Yeah, different name on Facebook. That's it. That's a good way to do it. I've got a success quote here. Albert Gray. Albert Grace has this great success quote here. It says, "Successful people have developed the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. They don't necessarily like to do them either, but their disliking is subordinate to the strength of their purpose." So there's a success quote for you there. We got about a minute left. Let's go around the horn one more time.
This just made me think of something with Joe in here. Be careful when you're getting divorced, because if somebody tells me they've been divorced and I pull their credit, I can pretty much tell you exactly when it is. You got to watch your bills and keep it in check, because a lot of times it's just devastating for credit, and you're splitting up. One of you is going to have to buy a new home soon, so pay attention to what's going on.
That's right. William?
Wow, I was dumbfounded. That was a good one. Wow. I mean, try to stay married if you can. I just really encourage the credit goes bad so I can stay in business. So whether you're married or not married, whether you're looking for a home or not looking for a home, just make sure that your credit stays bad so you can come see me, and I can legally help you to overcome those objections.
And it's not a divorceable offense to lose your wedding ring. Although if you lose it 4 times, that seems a little suspicious. A little suspicious.
There you go.
But he did find it. So yeah.
He found it. What about the tattoo idea John was saying?
Oh, the tattoo idea?
You said you saw that one time?
You'll look fantastic coming out of the divorce hearing if you have the tattoo on your finger. Although it does show commitment, so you might win some points.
Get some brownie points points on the front end of that, don't you? All right, another fun show here on the Quarterback Show. And we're looking for business partners as well. If you're a business owner out there, want to get some exposure and harness the power of the media, grow your sphere of influence, become a celebrity in the market, we would love to talk to you and talk to you about how we have a unique strategy where we repurpose content as well. Check out our Facebook pages, our Instagram posts, Twitter out there as well, at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Twitter, the Consumer Quarterback Show on Facebook as well. We'd love for you to like our page and check us out, and also engage with us. We'd love to have some comments back at consumerqb.com from the show. Anything that we can do to help you, we would love to hear from you. We want you also to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up leftover food you may have or clothing and taking it with you, handing it to that person that you see in need on the side of the road. Be a force for good in the community out there, and maybe even buy a police officer or a off-service deputy a lunch or dinner, breakfast, lunch or dinner, and be a force for good out there. Do something good, do something kind for someone else, and continue to tune into our show right here on Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.